Hey guys, All Sports 83 sporting another video at you, and today we're highlighting the 6th playoff race of the 2021 GoFast E-Racing Series playoffs, and we are at the Charlotte Roval for the 6th race of the playoffs, and it was the 7 car of Bullseye 127, and only his 3rd start would collect the pole for this race. And here we are underway already. He's able to get the lead quickly. A good race here very early on between myself and the 18 car of Rowdy Fan, but then I get really loose, and feeling like my car was super loose early in the run. It seemed like I needed like a lap and a half, 2 laps, just to get the thing tightened up to where I could run. So cost me several positions on getting loose there as we were getting ready to come onto the normal track, and so I had to fight my way back up through the track. There's the 2 car of Extreme Basin gets loose in the road course section of the track, and he would lose several spots, and then there was an off-screen wreck that would cause a caution. So after some pit stops, we would have a restart and bunch everybody back up. We're about halfway through stage number 1. And there again, you get the 7 car who's taking the lead. Nice battle between Earn It 3 and Silver Piece in the 77 car for that 2nd position. Here I'm loose again, getting into the wall, trying to figure out a way to get a good handle on the race car. Get a really good run through here as the 18 and 77 car are racing each other, and so they keep going at it. And so I'm trying to avoid them and also try to get myself back in position. And the 18 car of Rowdy Fan kind of gets the worst end of that portion of the track, and he would fall all the way back to the 5th position. And I was able to hold on and get to 3rd, but then I would get the wall, hit the 77 car, it would cause a chain reaction, and it would wreck the 18 and 77, and this would bring out another caution in stage number 1. Here's the restart. We did not have pit road open. If you have to complete a lap in this series in order to open pit road, so we just gathered it back up and went right back to green. This time I got a pretty good start and was able to take advantage of a couple of guys racing and move myself into the 2nd position. But there you see the 43 car of Earn It 3 also in 3rd position, trying to keep himself in a good spot as we wind down to the end of stage number 1. There you see the 7 car still leading. I get in way too hot and I hit him really hard. I'm going to slow it down and look at the carnage I created. You see it causes the 43 car to hit the wall and stopped him dead, and it also gave the 7 car a penalty. This obviously would bring out another caution. That was certainly my fault on that wreck there. Just got into the chicane way too hot and caused a big pile up there. So here's the restart on lap number 8 with just 4 laps to go in stage number 1. So here I kind of get my best start so far. And then the 18 car, he is now back in it with all these cautions. He was able to race his way right back into the top spot, or racing for the top spot. But it was the 7 car who just seemed to have the best car all night long. He works his way around me with just 2 laps, coming to 2 to go. And so had a really good run on the outside here, and he would just eventually kind of complete this pass as we come off of the original track's turn number 2. But then you see as we're getting right down into the chicane here, the 18 car gets in too hot and just plows the 7 car, forces him get another penalty, and also the 18 car had to slow way down. Now in our series, when you get under 3 to go, you see the arrow there, 9 of 11, there are no cautions. But then I get loose in the same spot again, and that would turn the lead over to the 18 car of Rowdy Fan 18. I would catch him, but then he would still win just because he had a better position on me. And of course, I make a huge mistake on the final corner. You might say, thankfully, I was able to still finish 2nd after all the carnage that we had created. Myself and the 18, we still had a gap over all those guys that we had unfortunately wrecked. So Rowdy Fan gets 1st. I was 2nd. Earn It 3 is 3rd. This Extreme Basin gets 4th position. And now we're going to move on to stage number 2. Always an anxious moment here as somebody gets in a little too hot. I'm not sure if it was the 43 or the car behind him, but it creates a big wash up the racetrack. But we were able to hang on to it, not have any major crashes, and try to see if we couldn't spread throughout the field. A lot of times this track is better if you're kind of by yourself and kind of running a rhythm. It's a lot harder to race this place with a lot of cars around you. There you see a little contact between the 77 and the 18 car. Now this was not deemed a caution. I'm not exactly sure if I remember exactly why, but I think maybe his 18 car didn't really lose a bunch of time. We were so bunched up, he just lost some positions. So we keep racing here, and now it's me and the 43 car for the lead. But then you see the 7 car making his presence known as he's trying to recapture that win, that lead after capturing the pole. And like I said, he seemed like he was kind of the fastest car all night long. And as we get in here, this is one of the toughest places of the track, so I'm trying to do everything I can to create some kind of distance if I can, but that 7 car is on me. And he pretty much stays on my rear here for a good portion of the next lap and a half or so. But very difficult place to get around. And here he's on my outside trying to make a move, but he does a really good job here of kind of backing off so he can get back on the throttle early and gets position on me going into turn number 1. And it was Bullseye 127 would retake the lead on lap 3 of stage number 2. But an off-screen wreck would bring out the caution, and I was able to win the race off pit road here and get a nice clean start. But I get in just a little bit too hot here, but I was able to save it. However, the battle behind me was raging between the 7 and the 43 car. And eventually it would be 77 of Silver Piece who would come out ahead in that second position, but the 18 car of Rowdy Fan 18 would take over that second position on the last lap of the stage. Now I was able to hang on to this lead, even though the 18 car was catching me little by little, but I was able to hang on and win stage number 2. I got the win there, Rowdy Fan second, Silver Piece in third, Bullseye in fourth, and Earn It 3 round out the top 5. Now we're already underway for stage number 3 here. As you see, 77 car of Silver Piece was in second, but he had a little issue, and it would turn the second position back over to the 7 car of Bullseye 127. And again, he was very, very fast. As you take a look here, this is the kind of a snapshot of what the top 5 looked like as we began to spread out. A 2.5 second lead over the 7 car, but as I come through this section, the car got really light and I would spin the car out, and just like that, the 7 car would go right around me and retake the lead and have a pretty good position. I think he had about a 3.5 second lead by the time I got the car back up to speed, and that's a pretty big distance for the guy who was really the fastest all night long. As you see here, as we look at different sections of the race, different sections of the run, he would just continue to spread out that lead. Now we go through a round of green flag pit stops. And this is an opportunity, if you can get in clean and fast and get off clean and fast without any penalties, you can make up some time here. And I did, but it was only about 0.3 of a second. Really wasn't enough to make much of a difference because he had such a gap on me entering those green flag pit stops. And as you continue to look at these different intervals, as we look every 3 or 4 laps or so, he would just continue to gap me just little by little. There it's up to 15.5 seconds. And then about 3 laps later, it was up to 21.3 seconds. So he just continued to leg it out. And we didn't have any wrecks or cautions, which is what I would have needed. And by the time it was all said and done, he had a 26 second lead. And that's how he would win the race. Bullseye 127, in only his 3rd career start, would win at the Roval in convincing fashion. I got second, Earn It 3 in third, Rowdy Fan 4th, Silver Piece 5th, Extreme Basin 6th, and Fat Boy 13 would round out the field in 7th. Now, obviously, as always, you want to take a look at the points and see how that shakes things up. Let's take a look now. Not really much different at the top for the championship. I went into this race with a 30-point lead over Rowdy Fan 18, and I was able to pick up an extra 4 points, but really 4 points doesn't mean a whole lot with 4 races to go. Turning our attention to the best of the rest, Earn It 3 with a nice 3rd place finish at the Roval would continue to help his case for that award, as he now has a 39-point lead over Silver Piece 718. Now Bullseye 127 with that win, he did close the gap just a little bit, but he still needs a lot of things to go his way for the rest of these 4 races. It's a real outside chance, not mathematically eliminated, but it's kind of a steep hill to climb for that 7 car. But still both races in question, as we still come with 4 races to go in the season. So a nice close battle, could be right to the very end. Next week we're off to the Texas Motor Speedway. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this highlight video and stay tuned for our next one. Have a good one.